One love to the humble, one love to the humble, one love to the humble. May grace and peace be multiplied unto you. Got a good video request from the good brother Trey Day. And his question is, why do black women, always prefer Pookie and Ray Ray over, what we would consider a good black man? Why would they do that? Well, let me say it like this, man. It's a lot of reasons why they do it. And uh a lot of it is because of just the way women are in general. You got to know a woman's nature, and her nature is to look for protection from the male. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what that's in their nature. Now, don't get me wrong. Today, they're being convinced to go against their nature. They're being told that they shouldn't do this and they shouldn't do that. Using shaming tactics. Other women using those tactics on other women. Why they shouldn't get a man or respect a man or be with a man or anything like that. But that's a different topic. Let me stay on topic. I got a habit of going all over the place. I don't have any notes. I'm just speaking from what I know and understand. Um, but what it is this right here, man. Women look for those things in men. And a nice guy typically doesn't show um, those traits. He doesn't show the traits of that he can protect, that he can fight, that he'll stand up, that he got a strong backbone, that he's not weak, that he's gonna lead her and things like that. See, a guy that comes to her in a nice way is to her that's like a guy that she can run over. That a guy that's simping, that's doing whatever she asks him to do in the beginning. Like if you just getting to know her and that's your approach, she's not gonna like that. She's gonna be like, oh, thank you so much. She's gonna act like she like the flowers and like this and like that. But if also with you doing that, if you're not bringing some type of firmness to the relationship to show that you are a stand-up guy, to show that you can protect, to show that you got them rough edges, then it's not attractive to her. That's why the guys like that, it don't matter if they got a job, it don't matter how much money they're making, any of that. If they have those traits, she's gonna be down with it. Now, they've convinced women to say, women also look for money. Now, it don't have to be a lot of money, but today's woman has been convinced that she's supposed to be looking for this 1% man that don't even exist. But women still want provision. Now, it used to be a time before we got into all of this stuff with social media and women seeing all these things and women being told all the things they're told to uplift them and make them feel like they deserve the best guy in the world, regardless of how they are. Before we got here, it was a time when women dated the men that was around them, close in their proximity, like at their school, around their neighborhood, around their city. And as long as he had something going for himself, it was okay. Because the older folks back then, the grandparents of the 90s used to say, do you have a job? That was all you had to do was have a job. And you was in there. As long as you were doing so with your life, you had a job, you was going somewhere, you was good to go. But that's not the case anymore, right? Now you gotta be making millions. But that thing, they still look for that, regardless of what. So if she'll compromise on the money as long as he got the protection. That's why them guys think about how them guys are. They rough around the edges. They don't cater to women. They treat women as not as their equal, because women don't want an equal in any type of way. Women don't like equals. They want men that's above them, that's better than them, that can lead them. If you don't possess those traits, then you can't lead. But think about those guys. They're very they rough around the edges. They tell her what they want her to do. They give her the standards. They got plenty of time for her because they ain't working. They can be wherever she wants them to be. If something goes down, they protect her. They exciting. They always have some wild stuff going on. There's always some chaos. They can get violent. Those are all attractive traits to women, even though they don't like to admit it out loud. But they like that. Then what they're gonna tell you is when they speak is like they want the nice guy. Oh, I want him to treat me like this. And that's what they don't want that. That's what they want you to believe. See, they have to say that because they're the weaker gender, and they don't want you to. What they're saying is they really don't. They don't want you to. They don't want to say that they want the rough stuff. They say they want you to be a nice guy because they're the vulnerable gender, and if they get with a guy who is about that, maybe he won't do nothing to them because he's treating them in this kind of way. But he do everything else to everybody else and not her. But she's still like that. But if you think that that means I want you to approach me in that way, then you're absolutely wrong. She'll never pick you if you don't come off as somebody who can hold down the fort. And it's a lot of conditioning that's in there too. But that's what it is. They would never admit that. They want to be treated not equals. But they never say it out loud because it don't look right, it don't sound right, and it makes them look bad. But that's the case, man. It's real simple. The reason why they choose them guys is because they present themselves as tough, ready to fight, ready for chaos, and ready to do whatever. And women love that. If you're the nice guy, you're boring because you're gonna come home and you're not gonna have no drama. You're gonna be sitting on the couch watching TV. That's all you can be doing. Going to work, coming home. That gets old. Women don't like. Women need some excitement in their life. They need some drama. They need something to get their emotions going, to get their feelings moving. And you can't do that as a nice guy because you ain't about that. But them guys are about it. Now it will come a point in time when that's going to change. When they get older, they done been through enough drama. They done been dealing with a guy in prison. They done been beat upside the head. Um, their life ain't going the way they wanted to go. They got like 2 or 3 kids by 2 or 3 different dudes. They getting older. You know, the dudes is continuously cheating. Then they'll change that mindset, and then they'll be looking for the good guy later on. But in their young years, when everything's excited and fun, they're not looking for that. For the most part, they're not. Some maybe, but most of them are not. You have to present yourself as that guy who is rough around the edges and ready to get busy. If that ain't you, it's gonna be hard. Most of them are gonna turn you down. It's the way it is. But if you're a nice guy and you still got them same traits and you still show that you can do that, then you got a chance. But other than that, Pookie and Ray Ray gonna win every time. And I'm not disrespecting black men by calling them Pookie and Ray Ray. It's just a distinguish between them from the nice guys. And see, men are taught always to be nice to women. Treat women like this, or don't hurt women. It's because you only get told that as a man because women are the weaker gender. That's good in society, just out and about, treating women nice and doing things like that. But when you're in a relationship, I'm not saying treat them bad, but you gotta have that leadership and that sternness and that firmness, and you can't be worried about certain things. You gotta be that guy. If you're not gonna be that guy, then it's gonna be tough, especially on first approach. You better come off as somebody who is about it. Because if she don't feel that in you, she think you scary, she think you not gonna stand up, it don't matter. And then if you are a nice guy and you got a whole lot of money, she'll still rock with you. But you ain't gonna be the one that she probably still cheat on you though, with the guy who ain't got nothing. And the guy who ain't got nothing, she's not gonna require nothing of him because he possesses all the things she really like. So he can have her anytime he want. But you, with everything she like, but if you don't have those things, you're gonna be on a trial basis. You're gonna be on a trial run before you get down to it. You're gonna have to wait 2 or 3 months before anything happens. But that guy that has nothing going for himself, but he possesses those other traits she like, he can have it that same night. That's how the game go. So if you want to know the reason why, that's the reason why. I don't make the rules, man. I just report it. Y'all take care.